Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Toyota here in Murray for giving me some time with this TRD Pro. Check out their inventory link below. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 4-liter V6 that goes through a 5-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 16 around town and then 19 on the highway, with power outputs being 270 horsepower and then 278 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the 4Runner TRD Pro. First off, this is finished in Lime Rush, and I love this color. It is so bright and in your face, and yeah, this is the color that I would get. But anyways, we've got the scoop there in the center, and then also we've got the projector bulbs right here with the accenting just up above, fog lights down below. We've got the old school Toyota logo with the camera just below that, and then there's a sensor below the camera. Lots of stuff happening. We obviously have the higher ground clearance front fascia that comes with all of the off-road versions of the 4Runner. And yeah, just look at this. This thing looks so aggressive. And then if we pop under here, you guys can see we've got the TRD skid plate there for added protection. And then we do have some tow hooks there at the front end, and you guys can kind of see some stuff with the suspension and all that, just a little bit. But yeah, there's the front end. Around the side here, we've got two 65mm tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. These are the TRD wheels. They're alloy wheels, and they look absolutely fantastic. Super aggressive, hardcore, kind of like that off-road wheel styling. Now, aside from that, we have TRD tuned Fox shocks and springs that come with the Pro, and you guys can see that with the red. It just absolutely pops. And then you guys can see the all-terrain tires as well, pretty aggressive. Notice that the fender flares are body painted, and then we've got the mud flaps from the factory, two-tone mirror with the green at the top and the black at the bottom. And then we'll give you guys a quick side view, but we're going to look at the suspension and everything in the rear as well. And then notice the rack at the top. It's also part of the TRD Pro package. Got to have the TRD Pro there on the side, and then you guys can, well, partially see things here from the rear. And this is where a lot of the money goes into is, again, the shocks and the dampening and everything, and that's why the TRD Pro package is so important. And then also, we got the exhaust too. Look at that. And then the other mud flap. So here's our key fob. We've got the Toyota logo on the back. We've got the unlock and then the lock function. And then we just have a hydraulic lift gate here in the rear, so just click that button and she'll open up. Popping here to the rear, notice that we've got our rubber floor mats here in the back. We have a cargo cover that's already built in and actually looks really nice. We have a full outlet back here as well, and you guys can see that there's tons of storage space here, so you can put a bunch of camping goodies back here. I mean, I hope you're gonna do some camping if you buy a TRD Pro. We've got the strap that actually helps you pull down the lift gate, but it's hard to like fully close it with the strap. So like I always find myself having to kind of like grab one of those and then just kind of toss it down. Now finishing things here in the back area. Again, we've got another TRD Pro badge. So you have like one right here and then one right next to it. And then you guys know, again, we've got the signature 4Runner taillights. Huge fan of those. I love the black trim there at the bottom, and then around the 4Runner logo kind of creates a little bit of contrast. We do have a receiver hitch right there. And then there's kind of that view, and then kind of pop underneath so you guys can see the spare tire right there, and then a little bit more with the rear shocks and all that. And with that being said, there's your 3/4 angle on it. Now popping to the interior, we've got really nice red stitching here with the leather covering the whole door panel, and we've got darker trim right there. Automatic windows for the rear, and there's a look at the door handle. Here are the seats in the back, so you can see, again, leather trim with the red stitching, and then just down below as well. And then we do get the carpet floor mats right there, which we will pop in. So you guys can see the legroom here in the back. I'm about 6 foot. And then headroom, so I actually fit back here. And then you can see the vents right there. Got a couple of USBs, and then some cup holders with an armrest there. And let's pop to the front. Now here's the door panel at the front. Again, really nice leather trim all over, and then the grab handle with the black metallic trim. And then notice it says all auto instead of saying it on each individual window switch. Smart thinking, Toyota. And then notice you got the door handle right there. Another speaker for the sound system. And then we have the TRD seats here, and then you can see all with the bolstering and then more red stitching. They are power adjustable. You get 4Runner TRD Pro floor mats, and then there's the pedals down below. This is for the camera, for the outlet, and then notice we got that for the mirror adjustment. And there's one more look before we pop in. So here is the steering wheel. We've got leather at the top and at the bottom, perforated leather here on the side. Got controls for the center stack, your pages button, lane departure, and then the cruise control there on the back. Phone controls, voice commands, all that fun stuff. And then you got your light / turn signal stock, windshield wiper stock, and that's all for the steering wheel. Here's the center gauge cluster. You've got the RPMs on the left side. On the right side, you've got the speed, and then you do have that screen where you can scroll through a few different bits of information here, so you guys can see like steering angle, which is very important for off-road use, and then obviously tire PSI as well. And also you can kind of change with the little pages button what you're going through. But anyways, that's all for the center. Got a clock there at the top with the hazard light button there in the center, and yeah, pretty easy. I like the actuation on it. Now down below we do have the infotainment system. If we pop into reverse, you've got the backup camera. Notice we do get a bird's eye view, and then I can change the camera view right there. Just press that, and then it'll go like full backup camera view. Now when I turn the steering wheel, the trajectory lines don't turn with it. And remember there was that camera button there a little bit earlier, so if I press that, and that'll pop on with the front camera, which is obviously super helpful for off-roading. Press it again, you got the side cameras. So from a camera perspective, it shows a bunch. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, first off, response time is really good with all of the buttons. You press it and, you know, pretty much instantly happens. And then here's kind of the response with the navigation right there. And then we can go back to the menu, for example, and press one of the buttons. So yeah, really easy to use infotainment system. And then you guys already saw analog controls on either side. Now we do have a dual zone climate. I love the climate controls that Toyota does because they're like super massive, oversized, but you just feel like you're doing something important and you're just changing the temperature. And then all the rest of the controls there in the center portion. And then notice here we've got a giant like covering for the USBs, and it's illuminated too, kind of like what you get with like a computer build. And then some more storage right there, and then just down below got a cup holder right here. And then we have our driveline select. So you have a few different modes you can go into. You've got 2-wheel drive, which is normally in 4-wheel high, and then neutral, and then 4-wheel low if you're in really mucky off-road situations. And then you have a cup holder here. You guys probably noticed the carbon fiber trim all in the center portion. It's kind of interesting. There's like no other carbon fiber in the interior, and then just boom, plopped here in the center. And then notice we got the TRD shifter. You can manually shift if you want with that 5-speed automatic. Do have heated seats. I've got my heated seat on because it is pretty cold today. And then notice this is for the rear window. So just press that and it'll pop it all the way down. Definitely a nice thing. More SUVs need to still have that. I mean, it's sad that it's like the 4Runner is like the only SUV that still has something like that. The other one, like you've got other SUVs with the props, but yeah. And also this kind of mimics the light at the front, which I've always thought is cool. We've got the center console here, more leather and red stitching, and then you can see the storage space inside of that, and there's a 12 volts, and it's a pretty big center console, actually. Popping over here with the glove box, you can see that whole setup, and then the dark metallic gray trim. And you can see the trim here on the dash. Here's a closer look so you guys can see the texture. I don't know, it's not coming on camera. I am trying, people. Yeah, it's not gonna pop up. Oh, there we go. I think I got it for just, there you go. Now you guys can see the texture. Pretty interesting. And then this does come with a sunroof as well, definitely nice. And we've got a bunch of controls right here. We have a whole slew of controls. We've got the universal garage openers. This is for the sunroof over here. And then we have our stability control. And then this is for the traction. We have the locker for the rear. And then you guys will notice that we've got this for the speed, which is kind of like your crawl control. And then we have this for the different drive modes that you can go into. So you have to press that to go into the different drive modes. But for some of the drive modes, it'll actually tell you what you have to do on the center screen. So you have this screen right here, and it's saying select 4-wheel drive to go into the drive mode. So you can see that it's the multi-terrain select. So you've got the rock, the mogul, the loose rock, and then notice it tells you what to do. So like it says select 4-wheel drive, loose rock, shift vehicle to neutral, and then I can go into rock, again, shift vehicle to neutral. So it's cool that it tells you what to do. But yeah, that's the terrain mode select. And like I said, this is like your kind of like crawl control is the best way to describe it. So there is quite a bit of glare, but I think you guys can see this pretty well. Again, 2022 and then Lime Rush. Absolutely love the color. But feel free to freeze the frame. I'm going to try my best so you guys can see with the equipment that comes. And then this is the important stuff, right? What comes with the TRD Pro package. That's what you're paying all the money for. And then you can see over here with the optional equipment, and then total MSRP right down there, $54,207. And wait for it, wait for it. Let's get a quick exhaust clip and then we'll sum things up. Now that's going to sum things up for this 2022 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. I'm so excited that I had some time with the new TRD 4Runner, and specifically in this color. It makes me so excited to see this on the new Tacoma when they come out with the TRD Pro version of that for 2022. But anyways, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Toyota here in Murray for giving me some time with this TRD Pro. Check out their inventory in the link below. I will see all of you in that next video.